Alright boys, so over here on the NA version of the game, we are wrapping up our Guda Guda 4, the final Hanunji rerun. I hope you guys got your Kagetora. I hope you guys enjoyed the story with Mao Nobu. It was pretty good if I do say so myself. I actually did not mess up this year and actually secured my Kagetora, thank the Lord. But, so yeah, we're actually going to be moving into the Fate Requiem event, but before the Fate Requiem event actually comes out on the NA version of the game, we're going to be getting a pre-release campaign, and you guys know the deal. Well, I don't think this banner is, terrible by really any means. I mean, both Jinako and Osaka Behime are both pretty good servants in their own right. You guys already know the deal. You do not summon on this banner. You continue to save for Castoria because she's going to be coming out in just a few months now. And I promise you guys, as someone that has been playing JP for the past year with Castoria, she is actually quite literally a game changer. She is absolutely nuts to butts broken and just makes your account just so OP, right? Just because she enables so much just insanity, right? The fact that, she basically lets you do any looping with any art servant of your choosing. You could pretty much use whoever you want with her. And the fact that she is insanely good for a lot of these fights that you need to stall in, as long as you have someone like, say, Morgan or Merlin to pair up with her. She can make those stall strategies very, very viable as well. So she's just absolutely insane for pretty much anything. Farming, killing bosses, you name it, she's absolutely insane. But I know there's going to be people that are going to try to summon on this banner anyway. Every time a banner comes out, I have that one guy he's like, yeah, but I need a ticket and I got Osaka Behime. I'm like, all right, that's really good. Very lucky, happy for you, but you should be saving for Castoria. Now, I do want to go ahead and note as well that both of these servants are currently on the free 5-star ticket on the NA version of the game. If you haven't claimed a 5-star, like I haven't claimed my 5-star yet, I don't really know who I want right now, because turns out I don't have Mordred's outfit. Apparently, I was so busy grinding QP for the Fate Apocrypha event that I never got her costume. So that was like the entire reason I wanted to get Mordred. So now I'm kind of like rethinking, well, who am I going to get now? And if you haven't picked somebody and you're going to summon on this banner because you want them that badly, just pick them up with the ticket then. Like, if you're going to summon for Osaka Behime because you just love her or something along those lines, she's absolutely one of your favorite servants, something like that, just pick her up with a ticket, man. You obviously should be picking up Waver. He's the best person to pick, but like, if you love Osaka Behime that much, you might as well just guaranteed get her with the ticket. You know what I'm saying? You just might as well do that. But for those guys that are just going to summon because, I don't know, maybe you've already used your ticket and, maybe you're just like, well, you're like kind of a meta guy. You really like Hime. You really like Jinako over here. But you're kind of still meta and you went ahead and picked up your waiver, and for some reason, you're summoning on this banner. We'll talk about these servants, right? Like, I'll give you guys a basic rundown of what you can expect when you get these guys. I don't know. You have to be in a very weird position to summon for this, because if you're gonna summon for anything, wouldn't you just summon on the actual banner? Wouldn't you just summon on the actual Fate Requiem banner and try to get yourself Voyager? Because Voyager is actually really good with Scotty. So again, like, just don't know why you'd really summon on this. But Osaka Behime basically kind of doubles as a just tanky solo stomp servant that can also be a pretty decent support if you want to use her in that aspect. She's pretty unique in the fact that you can use her as a support, and she is an assassin, meaning usually most supports are casters, meaning they can sometimes struggle when it comes to rider fights. But Hime actually doesn't have that issue because she's an assassin. So she kind of is supposed to be like, oh yeah, well, instead of bringing my Merlin to this fight, I could bring Osaka Behime because as an assassin, and all the defensive buffs that she has for herself on, her skills and her NP, she should be able to keep herself alive and not get exploded. The only problem, ironically enough, and the reason I bring up Merlin, is that Osaka Behime... Too long of names, bro. Osaka Behime has the same problem that Merlin does, where they both have, like, only 20% to offer, right? If we actually go look at Osaka Behime over here and we actually pull her up, if you look at her second skill, she's only giving 20% to one ally, which is still really good. Do not get me wrong. The problem is that it's the same thing that Merlin has, and Merlin gives it to the entire party, right? But it's just that 20% is not quite enough in the state of the game that we're in right now. You usually want to have a support type servant that can give 50%. That's why Scotty, Koyenskaya, and Castoria make the big bucks, because they offer 50%, which is just absolutely insane, because that means if you have 2 of them, you can, for free, give that servant that you're supporting 100% of their NP gauge. But it makes her really good for boss battles specifically. And again, if you have a specific like rider boss fight that you're struggling with, she is very, very good for helping you take a lot of those things down. Her other skills, I mean, they're pretty good. Like the fact that she can just remove all the enemy's buffs, really OP. This skill gets buffed over here to give extra crit damage. Keep in mind, this is pretty much like an AoE waiver's first skill, and the fact that she just gives 50% to the entire party, extremely strong. And while she was originally supposed to be a quick servant, they actually gave her this buff to her NP that also helps her double as a buster support, which is also kind of why I brought up Merlin. She's definitely not bad, you know. I know when she was first coming out on the NA version of the game, I was making arguments for being like, oh, should you use Osaka Behemoth or Scotty for these things, right? And while I definitely think Scotty is head and shoulders above Osaka Behemoth, I think it's really good and speaks to how good she is personally, that you can even start to have discussions like those, right? The fact that we can even talk about that and, you know, just not get laughed out entirely is very showing for how good Osaka Behemoth is. She definitely is a very, very strong servant if you're going to go ahead and try to summon for her because you like her a lot. Because, I mean, let's be honest, she's really cute. So if you're summoning for her, that's fine. Then we have Janako over here. Janako's kind of like, she's like a support kind of DPS type of thing going on. Her charisma right here is absolutely insanely broken. The fact that she can give that 20% to the entire party, give them the modern charisma and 15 stars a turn basically, because this goes to everybody, and then, you know, 5 times 3 is 15 obviously. It just makes it a very, very insane charisma. The thing that people usually kind of harp on a lot when they talk about Janakos are like, well, she can give somebody an invincibility for a turn, but what about sealing their... It's like, you dummy. Just use the person's skills first. Like, just, if you're, I don't know, putting this on your Artoria, because for some reason you're using Janako and Artoria in a team comp together, right? If you're going to put this on your Artoria, just use your Artoria skills first, right? Like, just pop the charisma, then slap this on there, call it a day. You know what I'm saying? It is not that difficult. Although I do believe... how it works though is that when you seal their skills, it does stop that cooldown for a turn, so that can be a little annoying. So even if you do use the skills, it pauses their cooldown for a turn. So either way, really, you're just going to be, you know, halted for a turn. Doesn't really matter how you do it. If you just want to take the L and not use your skills for that turn, or just have the cooldown halted for a turn, who really cares? But you're still living. Like the fact that like you just got to take that minor hit to then not die that turn, pretty dang good, right? And the fact that she also has a taunt is insane as well. I mean, you can literally just taunt herself and then put this back on her, so she just actually becomes an unkillable wall for that turn. Very, very, very strong. The only thing that I'm like a little disappointed in is that she has low hits, but I understand why they did this, because they don't want another Qi Shi Huang where you can loop your NP and just become invincible forever, because she slaps an invincibility on herself every time she fires her NP. Although it's still technically possible to loop her NP. Even before Castoria came out, when she first came out on the JP version of the game, I was experimenting around at like getting her to be able to loop her NP, and it is technically possible in some arch chains. But she's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. She's just kind of like good, you know, like just a solid good servant. Nothing like super insane, but definitely like really strong. If you get her in your box, you can make some use out of her. But I mean, as far as the 4 stars are concerned, not ironic, but funny enough, Edison and Nursery Rhyme over here are both becoming like really, really good. Over on JP, they're both receiving some buffs that are making them a little more viable. Edison in particular, we need to keep our eyes on this guy. You know, if you're an NA person, he's like 1 or 2 buffs away from being really insane. Edison over here, he's very, very close, right? Like you can see some of the stuff that he's getting over here. This is really teetering on him becoming insanely good. Let's see what they do with this skill over here. I don't know, because this is very quickly going to become a very broken support type servant for being able to burst down bosses, right, extremely quickly. So keep your eyes on Edison. He is definitely insanely good. But with all that being said, you guys know the deal. It's literally, don't summon on this, save for Castoria. But if you do, they're not bad. I mean, just keep in mind that they're both on the tickets as well, and you could use the tickets to get them for free if you really love the servants that much. Because I know people really like Janako. I'm not the biggest fan of her, like, as a character. Like, I think she's okay. I don't know why she kind of has, like, a cult following. Like, people really, really love Janako. Again, when I was playing CCC, I was more of a BB person, so, you know, maybe that's why I'm not the biggest fan, because, you know, we're Team BB all day. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 100K, and, you know, actually can kind of see that we're getting close. We're closing in on 20K, and I'm, like, kind of rubbing my hands together, being like, oh, baby. I think, don't we get, like, a plaque at 100K or something? So I'm like, I can see the plaque in the distance. I'm like, can't wait to get that in the mail. So I'm kind of getting antsy and a little excited about that. So support your boy. Comment down below your thoughts on, well, I guess the Fate Requiem event that's going to be coming up, and if you're going to be summoning on this or not. Are you gonna disappoint me? Are you gonna summon on this banner? Is that what you're gonna do? You don't want to do that, man. You don't want me to just be like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. You don't make me be your parent, okay? Don't make me do that, all right? But with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Oh yes, I stream every weekday over on my Twitch. Make sure you follow that in the description. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.